We now move to our top story. Over the past month, judges have set bond for 9 murder suspects. 2 suspects had their bond set today. Now, that's because they were not indicted within the state-ordered deadline. And at least one of the 9 suspects is now free on bond. Under state law, if a suspect has been in jail for 90 days and the district attorney's office has not presented their case in front of a grand jury and a grand jury has not indicted them, a judge must set bond. This rule was waived during much of the pandemic, but it was reimposed by the state Supreme Court on May 14th this year. Ashlyn Webb has been digging into this story and shares what she found.
Yes, it's ultimately up to the district attorney to present an indictment in front of a grand jury, but Macon Judicial District Attorney Anita Reynolds Howard says most of these cases are not ready to be presented. She claims delays to get evidence from the Bibb County Sheriff's Office and the Georgia Bureau of Investigation's Crime Lab are to blame.
It is not my job to rush cases. It is my job. I took an oath to seek justice.
The 9 suspects who got bond include the man accused of killing a jail guard, a triple murder suspect, and an accused mass shooter. Bonds range from $50,000 to $250,000. All but one of those suspects remain in local jails.
It seems to be a little bit unprecedented. I can't remember another time that we've had this many cases of such serious nature that have had bonds set, but we are in different times now.
Because of the state law that requires bond to be set for suspects not indicted within 90 days of their arrest, Judge Howard Sims says he was required to approve a $200,000 bond for Passion Watkins last week. She's the woman accused of shooting and killing her stepmother in April 2020.
If I hadn't been required to set a bond, I wouldn't have set one.
DA Howard went through the list Friday and said all cases listed except Albert Booz's and Passion Watkins cases are not ready to go before a grand jury for indictment. She says that's because crucial, critical information is still missing for most of the cases from the GBI Crime Lab and the Bibb County Sheriff's Office.
Justice cannot be dictated by a 90-day rule. I mean, we're talking about ballistics not coming back for 6, 9, sometimes months or a year. And that first means the ballistics has to be sent off to GBI. And we've had that here in Bibb County since I got here as DA, where the evidence has not even made it to the crime lab.
Do you think there's enough evidence to present these cases to a grand jury or indict them based on what your investigators have done?
Well, I'd like to think so. Our investigators work very hard, but there's always bits of information, things that the prosecutor needs. The prosecutor's the one that takes it to the grand jury, and they want to have all the information that they need. But there's sometimes you're not going to have everything. Sometimes it's right up to trial that you get all of the evidence that you need and all the information.
Both Davis and Sims stated they're concerned that 9 murder suspects had bond set. At least one of the suspects, Erlandez Bond, bailed out of jail this week.
It's always concerning when you have defendants that the state alleges has committed a violent act, and in this case, these cases sort of the ultimate violent act, that they're potentially about to be released.
There are conditions to those bonds, and our investigators and our deputies are going to make sure that these individuals live up to those conditions of the bonds while they're out. And we can only just hope that they don't engage in any more criminal or serious activity.
But this is what DA Howard's response was when asked if she was concerned about these suspects being able to bail out.
Of course, that's always concerning, but what's more concerning to me is jeopardizing justice to rush to indict a case. That is not fair to the victims. That is not fair to the defendants, and I do not believe that is what this community elected me to do.
The district attorney's office said that as of Friday, the murder charge for one of the suspects, Anthony Walker, is dismissed. Lori, back to you.
Thank you, Ashlyn. In this story on our website, we list each of the murder suspects, how much their bond is set for, and if they've bailed out, and who they're accused of killing.